the Chad-Spanish border controls. So we've had problems in the UK, the Americans have had problems with their borders, and the Spanish have had worse, let's say, more extreme versions to deal with. So if we can get this first thing up, this is just some footage here of the enclaves that Spain has in Morocco. So for people who don't know, Spain, like every imperial power, has little enclaves around the world. These ones are on the border with Morocco in Morocco, and therefore the people can just walk over from Morocco into here. So they built massive fences. So what happens now is loads and loads of guys gather together and all burst all at once. And then in the footage you should be able to see here is just a bunch of them running through the town. Totally normal.
And you'll notice that they're all young men.
Yeah.
And
so
they
go back to the tweet. It's on the tweet, sorry. I don't want to play the audio, I just want to see it in the background. The thing there being that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, look at them. They're young men, fit and healthy young men who are just running around doing whatever it is they want, and that looks like an invasion, especially if they're congregating at a fence in order to push the fence down and break in. I mean, that is what an invasion is.
And these fences are huge and covered in multiple layers of barbed wire.
Yeah,
it's really, they built a wall there a long time ago, and it's big, but it's still not able to stop when there's so many people. So if we can get the first video, just so we can get the people running along here, just so we can play it in full. See them chanting as they run out here. Women and children, plenty of them.
It's all young men.
Yeah.
Causing havoc.
Not Moroccan either. It's the thing to keep in mind.
Some of them look like they might not be Moroccan, that's true.
A lot of them look like they might not be Moroccan. Every interview that goes down there, and they all ask them, where are you from? Very few of them say Morocco. So for people who don't know, for foreigners, so here's just a map from BBC News just to show you where these two settlements are. I'm going to get the names brutally wrong because I'm English, so Ceuta and Melilla. Yeah.
Melilla?
I don't speak foreign. So that's where they are. So then if you break into those territories, you're technically in European Union territory. So my legal understanding is once you've broken into that area, you have the right to claim asylum in the European Union, namely Spain. And that's a route into Europe that gets exploited by people who clearly have no right to be here. I mean, like the European Union has said themselves, 60% of the people who came in 2016 had no more right to be in Europe than anyone else. 60%. Anyway, so if we go to the next link, this is just to demonstrate this problem's been going on for years. This is 2017 reporting here, and as you can see, those huge fences that they built, just loads of people just climb over them, because if you all run at once, who's going to stop you? So, and the narrative on this has always been, as one would expect, that Spain bad, because Spain wants to protect their borders.
I can't help but notice in that picture they don't look like Moroccans.
Yeah, so this is Amnesty International here complaining, and in here they say that following confrontation by Spain's interior minister, the police fired rubber bullets in an attempt to stop migrants from entering the Spanish enclave of Ceuta, which may have contributed to the deaths of 11 migrants by drowning. Firing rubber bullets to stop them breaking in. I think they're the ones who contributed to their death there.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have to break the law. You didn't have to try and jump over this massive fence and risk your life. Could have just not. Morocco's not a war.
The drowned migrants were among some 250 sub-Saharan Africans who'd been attempting to reach Spanish soil. Well, why were they doing that?
Sub-Saharan Africans.
What were they doing there?
How many countries did they go through? Well, there was no war. Well, there was no reason to be like, I'm a poor refugee. No, you were just a chancer.
Yeah, more than that, they're adventurers. That's what they are. I'm certain that what these migrants are doing is they've heard that there's riches and free money to be had in Europe, and it's soft and easy life, and they're going on an adventure. What can we get out of this?
Yeah, they're definitely being lied to. So the people who are lying to them have something to take on for themselves. So if you missed any of that as well, like you're mentioning, I mean, not Moroccan, sub-Saharan African. So we go to the next one here. This is just some of the images that have come out from the area. So this is some guy posting here the helmets of the border force, and you can see that they're having rocks thrown at them to the point that the helmet is quite damaged there in the back. So people who are not being peaceful, I mean, they're breaking the law, they're attacking the police here. Wonderful chaps. Absolutely great that they're coming in. And
doctors, lawyers,
social scientists.
Yeah. Well, if they're social scientists, I definitely want them kept out.
Oh, boy. And it's not just a one-off incident either. If we go to the next link, this is a Spanish website. I Google Translate it because I don't goddamn know. And it says that Ceuta adds 48 hours, 400 incidences. So, god dang it, where did I put the thing? There we go. The single emergency telephone number 112 in SETA has answered since Monday morning, and during at least 48 hours, a total of 1,716 calls. And that has resulted in resolution of 416 incidences, mostly motivated, quote, by fights, illegal settlements, inconvenience to pedestrians, and attempts to rob and break into homes and premises.
Wow,
Thankfully,
I can't believe that a bunch of criminals who break into your country illegally also commit crimes in that country.
like they're
Shocking.
you started off the relationship as you're a criminal, we're breaking in. So suddenly the relationship carries on that way. I mean, big surprise. Thankfully, they're saying here none with serious consequences, so nobody's been killed or anything yet. But I mean, that's the level here.
Yes.
Also mentioning that there were about 8,000 people who broke in, but it says that about 5,600 were returned or voluntarily returned. But that's still like 3,000 odd people running around in this tiny area.
But I mean, 8,000 people is legitimately an army. That's a huge number of people.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And when you see them running it as well, it really does look like a invasion. So if we go to the next image as well, you can see pictures of the guys just hanging around. Because, I mean, there's loads of them, so just sit around, wait for the next chance to run over, I guess. What life.
What are you doing here?
Like, you have absolutely no right. It's ridiculous, but I guess if Westerners lie to you and say that there's gold on the streets in Paris, go for it.
Thank you, NGOs.
So apparently the Prime Minister of Spain went down. He's from the Socialist Party, and the locals gave him a warm welcome. So if we go to the next link, they started shouting that he was a son of a W word. So you can see like his car comes out here, and they're just screeching at him, and then they end up kicking his car. I don't know how you're able to get so close, but okay.
Chad Spaniards give them a piece of their mind.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Just like screw this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, can't see why. Well, I can see why they're upset. Let's put it that way. So if we go to the next one as well, the response has been to deploy the Spanish military to the border.
Spain has a military?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. Well,
but I love it because it's the thing of essentially, right, okay, we built this massive wall. You know, we built a great big wall. It's got an entrance. You can come through legally, but no one wants to. Everyone wants to come in illegally because they have no respect for the law. And you spent all this money on guards and all the rest of it, and still you have these problems. Right, fine then, we'll send in the military. And they have. So if we can go to the next clip, just so we can play the clip of this, so people can see the audio as well. Like military APCs. There's just rows and rows of guys just hanging around on the beach.
Because have they swum here?
You can go around the border.
Right.
Just hordes of guys. Very few women and children.
No women and children.
No, the correct number is 0.
It's all 20-something men. All of them.
You have like helicopters.
Yeah.
I mean, just unbelievable scenes. And
it's a literal invasion.
Yeah, so in response, they're kicking them out, and this clip shows them kicking out, and you can see people being upset here. Images of Spanish soldiers beating migrants, refugees, and throwing them into the sea and the Moroccan border.
Literally throwing them into the sea.
Hashtag human rights.
Clubbing them.
But you can see the border right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the fence. If you walk 1 meter over there, you can be on that side. So if we can play the clip as well, just so we can go the full screen. See this, you can see them with the clubs.
Eso pasaba en el Tarajal, porque en Benzú seguía habiendo un coteo constante.
But you can see the military guys, for people who are listening. They've got like them on the rocks by the sea, right? And they're just pushing them off and being like, get in the sea, sod off, and then pulling out their clubs and being like, stay down, stay in the sea. So if they literally just walk around, they'll be back in Morocco. It's not like they're risking their lives like this guy's trying to make out here. Like, oh my god, they're pushing them into the sea. And then they can walk through the shallow waters back to Morocco.
It's just all the Giga Chad Spaniards on the beach being like, yes.
But there's a big question there, because I mean, we've had our huge problems with people coming over in boats who just refuse to follow the law whatsoever, not interested, risking their lives to flee horrible France.
One of the problems that mainland Spain has been having is that just boats of people are turning up on the beaches and then they just run into Spain, and now they're just loose in the country. Who are these people? Dunno. Where do they come from? Dunno. What crimes have they committed? Dunno. What crimes are they going to commit? Who knows? And this is unacceptable. This can't be allowed to continue.
No, and we've had just terrible policies of dealing with it. Like, nothing seems to really been effectual. So the Spanish here bringing out the military and just saying, right, we'll just send the military in. Yeah, okay. I mean, if they're literally able to just beat them back and be like, right, sod off. I mean,
if that's what's required, then that's what's required.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know what the objection is here. Because obviously the massive funding for the huge wall they built there, the guards and all the rest of it wasn't enough. So send in the army. And the army, if that's not enough to put them off, I don't know what would be. So, I mean, you're literally, as you say, dealing with an invasion. Thousands of men coming in one break. You know, thousands of men every other day doing this. It's not
mad.
A one-off. It's constant. And I was trying to come up with, so, you know, the like...
See, before you go, this is basically what I'm expecting Scottish independence to look like.
them trying to come around the border.
Yeah, we'll have rebuilt Hadrian's Wall and we'll just have to throw them back into the sea.
Just the English being like, sod off.
Just teasing. I see you look, give me evil.
No, because it'll be the SNP supporters. It'll be the SNP activists.
Yeah.
And once they've been purged from the party, they'll be like, let me in. No, you get what you deserve.
Yep.
But just like from sea to signing sheet. Sorry, from the sea to signing. It's like seashells.
Nice
seashells.
tongue twister.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
From sea to shining sea, Spain will be free. Just like sending the military in to deal with it. But it's just there is no argument about this. I saw a whole bunch of lovies complaining about, oh my god, how can they do this? It's like, oh no.
Well, I'll show you how they do it. What they do is they take them to the edge of a cliff and get the batons out and whack. I mean, we can see the video. I don't know why you're saying how they can do this.
Yeah, bing bang bosh.
Yeah.
You're off. But yeah, I mean, like, there is just there's nothing against this. Like, a lot of people are arguing like, oh my god, this is how horrible.
Yeah.
You know, if from the left wing perspective, of course, they're arguing how horrible borders exist.
Well, yeah, but they would.
I've seen some people who you might say on the right being like, you know, how horrible they have to bring in the military. And it's like, is it? Is it though? Like, if that's what's required, just do it. Like,
well, how horrible will it be for the young women and families of these Spanish cities to endure robberies and worse? That's your answer. I mean, like, it's a bunch of it's a bunch of 20-something young men
who once they get in, was starting fights with the locals and stealing stuff,
robbing stuff. Yeah, and that's the beginning. That's how they begin their occupation of this city.
Like, do you really want that to be the beginning of their relationship with Spain?
Yeah, it's unreal.
Or would you rather be like, no, go home?
What these men are doing is totally indefensible. And I don't know why anyone would be on the other side of it. Well, I do know, obviously, communists trying to subvert the countries they're trying to destroy, obviously. But you know what I mean.
Hopefully we can destroy Spain. Yeah, hashtag human rights.
Yeah, well,
EU.
I mean, I'm not in disagreement, but like... but that's just my old-fashioned British...
It's not a human right. You do not have a human right to someone else's country. It's that simple.
Believe it or not, you don't have a human right to live in Spain.
Could you imagine such a concept? Oh, God. You know, I can imagine the Swedish government doing that.
Well, they probably do.
Everyone has a human right to come to Sweden.
Oh, God, of course they would.
Yeah, and what do you think is going to happen? Well, we know what's going to happen, which is why they're not cracking down on immigration. But yeah, that's just a thing that happened. I wanted to talk about. I think it's hilarious. And I don't know why people shouldn't just follow suit. But the last point here is just, I love that they've come to your conclusion here. You see the Sentinelese here? The Sentinelese solution to borders?
Yeah.
Just bring out the arrows?
Yeah, North Sentinelese border policy is none. As in no immigrants.
But that's also the Spanish border policy now.
But I love the picture of the guy just yelling at bendy legs on the beach, yelling at them. That's Spanish border policy and the border policy of the most xenophobic island nation in the world.
So if anyone's listening, go and find that image and just like redo it so they've got like Spanish flags behind them and they're like guard their Seville helmets and whatnot. I want to see that. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. I thought it was funny as heck. I don't know why other countries shouldn't follow suit.
If you enjoyed this segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can watch the full broadcast live every weekday at 1 p.m. UK time on lotuseaters.com.